Starting lineups are brought to you by Borrow from Morrow. Longtime supporter of our broadcast, Matt Morrow, and his team is dedicated to providing the best mortgage experience possible. They do that by offering easy-to-use mortgage tools, including a handy mobile app, competitive rates, and assistance from experienced loan officers. Matt and his team of loan officers understand the local markets, have access to a wide variety of loan programs, and are ready to guide you through the process. Your family, your future, our focus. For your mortgage needs, remember Matt Morrow, Borrow from Morrow. For more information, visit borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS 464148. A portion of this broadcast of Georgetown Eagle Baseball by First Responder Broadcasting is brought to you by Carissa Bradford, your local Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans, protecting our families since 1952. The mission of Texas Farm Bureau is to help policyholders manage the financial risk of everyday life and successfully recover from insured losses through prompt, professional, personal service based on high ethical standards. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance offers comprehensive insurance policies for auto, home, farm and ranch, commercial, and life. Carissa can help you find the perfect policy to give you peace of mind that you're covered by a trusted and reputable insurer. For all your insurance needs, call Carissa at 512-777-8511 or visit www.tfb-ins.com. A portion of this broadcast of Georgetown Eagle Baseball is brought to you by Mahan Home and Commercial Services. Your source for all things roofing, we provide you with all the information you need to make a decision about your roof, the first line of defense against Mother Nature. A veteran-owned small business that believes in service with a purpose. Our mission is to service our residential neighbors and commercial community by providing the utmost quality materials and service. Our services include residential roofing, commercial roofing, ladder assist, and holiday lighting. Contact Jesse Mahan at 512-828-7800 or visit their website at mahanhcs.com. Mahan Home and Commercial Services, proud sponsor of First Responder Broadcasting and Georgetown Eagle Baseball. Jenny Mahan, Coldwell Banker Realty, proud sponsor of First Responder Broadcasting and Georgetown Eagle Baseball. A licensed real estate agent since 2016, Jenny is a family-first person that gives all she has to her family. Jenny takes the same love of family and delivers that to her clients from the start. Jenny is happy to help anyone looking to buy or sell a house, farm, or ranch. Let Jenny help you. Contact Jenny at 817-404-9203 or email jenny.mahan@cbunited.com. That's jenny.mahan@cbunited.com. Today's game between the Georgetown Eagles and the Vandegrift Vipers is Military Appreciation Day. The Eagles honor all those who serve and have served this great nation as members of the military. Eagles players have asked members of the military and veterans of the armed forces to join them on the field before the first pitch to recognize and honor their selfless dedication and sacrifice for the freedoms we enjoy here in the United States. To all those who have served in the United States Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard, including our very own Wally Harmon, we offer our most sincere thanks and gratitude for making our nation great and keeping us free. Now we go to the public address announcer for the ceremony.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Eagle Field, home of your Georgetown Eagles. Before today's game against the Vandegrift Vipers, we would like to take a moment to introduce our special guest of our players for Veterans Appreciation Day. Guest number 1 of Cooper Ashby is Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth Once-Laban, United States Air Force. Guest of number 2, Talon Ball, is Major Jason R. Norwood, United States Army. Guest of number 3, Riley Hill, is Petty Officer 3rd Class, Wayne Rosnavak, United States Navy. Guest of number 4, Cord Lawrence, is Sergeant 1st Class Hector Cortez, United States Army. Guest of number 5, Tate Ritchie, is Master Sergeant Anton Ronaldo Coelho, United States Air Force. Guest of number 7, Hayden Grooms, is Major John McDonald, United States Marine Corps. Guest of number 8, Caden Sykes, is Sergeant H.D. Dwayne Atchison, United States Marine Corps. Guest of number 9, Colton Crutchfield, is grandfather, Sergeant Donald R. Johnson, United States Army. Guest of number 10, Andrew Nations, is Sergeant David Dickerson, United States Army. Guest of number 11, Jackson Rainey, is father, Major Michael Rainey, United States Army. Guest of number 12, David Fluid, is Private First Class Wallace Harmon, United States Army. Guest of number 13, Reese Seaman, is Staff Sergeant John Douglas Badong, United States Marine Corps. Guest at number 14, Weston Lane, is grandfather, Specialist 5, Tom Cousineau, United States Army. Guest at number 15, Chance Garcia, is Sergeant Jonathan Thomas Ortegon, United States Marine Corps. Guest at number 16 is father, Specialist Mario Herrera, United States Army. Guest at number 17, Devin Peterson, is Lieutenant Colonel Luis Morales, United States Army. Guest at number 18, Hagen Tate, is Petty Officer 2nd Class, Jason Klippel, United States Navy. Guest at number 20, Jack Kiki, is grandfather, Sergeant William Herman Kiki, United States Army. Guest at number 22, Jamie Howell, is father, 1st Lieutenant Jeff Howell, United States Army. Guest at number 24, Justin Soto, is Staff Sergeant James Floor, United States Army. Guest Director of Baseball Operations Jake Bachman is Assistant Principal Chief Warrant Officer 2 Ricardo Romero, United States Army. And guest of Coach Chad Payne is son, Captain Cy Payne, and daughter-in-law, Lieutenant Brittany Payne, United States Marine Corps. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your starting lineups. First, for the visiting Vandegrift Vipers. Batting first and playing second base, number 15, Cash Millar. Batting second, playing left field, number 25, Luke Miller. Batting third, playing catcher today, number 14, Ethan Wood. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 10, Aaron Gutierrez. Batting fifth, the DH today is number 20, Miles Teodecki. Batting sixth, playing short, number 12, Carter Hubbard. Batting seventh, playing center field, number 17, Cole Wissain. Playing right field, batting eighth, number 2, Jack Quercamp. Playing third, batting ninth, number 7, Tristan Oballo. And on the mound today for the Vandegrift Vipers, number 10, Andres Fernandez. And the rest of the Vandegrift Viper team and their coaching staff. And now for your starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles. Leading off and playing center field, number 17, Devin Peterson. Playing third, batting second, number 2, Talon Ball. Batting third, playing first base, number 21, Riley Leininger. Batting fourth, playing catcher today, number 16, Reese Herrera. Batting fifth and in right field, number 11, Jackson Rainey. Batting sixth in left field, number 10, Andrew Nations. Batting seventh, your DH today, number 7, Hayden Bruce. Batting eighth, playing second base today, number 4, Claude Lawrence. Batting ninth, playing shortstop, number 6, Luke Colley. On the mound today for your Eagles, number 12, David Blewett. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you all rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Starting lineups are brought to you by Borrow from Morrow. Longtime supporter of our broadcast, Matt Morrow, and his team is dedicated to providing the best mortgage experience possible. They do that by offering easy-to-use mortgage tools, including a handy mobile app, competitive rates, and assistance from experienced loan officers. Matt and his team of loan officers understand the local markets, have access to a wide variety of loan programs, and are ready to guide you through the process. Your family, your future, our focus. For your mortgage needs, remember Matt Morrow, Borrow from Morrow. For more information, visit borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS 464148.
And we're live here back at Georgetown High School. We go to Eagle Field, and we're ready for the top of the first inning. David Flewitt on the mound for your Georgetown Eagles. The lefty works out of the windup, third base side of the rubber. He'll face off against Cash Millar, leading it off here for Vandegrift. First pitch swinging, hit out to ground. Out to shortstop, Holly up with it across the diamond in time. And a great play there by Leininger to lay out and make the grab, keeping the foot on the base. 6-3 on the putout. And one pitch, one out here in the top of the first.
Now batting number 25, Luke Miller.
Hopefully that went off well here on Military Appreciation Day. What a beautiful day it's been. Been up here at the school since before 9 o'clock, getting us all ready to go. But an opportunity just to hang out with these baseball players and the coaching staff, and a great opportunity and a great showing here. Thank you to all the other veterans that were a part of this, and honored to be selected by David Flewitt and asked to be a part of it with him as his veteran. And so a great opportunity, and now we're back in the booth in a little bit better weather situation, cool up here. But a discussion here from Coach Hickle of Vandegrift as he asked for help on the play at first base that Leininger may have come off in the stretch laying out. But now it looks like they are going to give it overrule. And now it's back, flip it back and forth. Now he's saying, I'm sorry, it's my bad, he is out. So 6-3 on the putout to retire Cash Millar, leading off for the Vandegrift Vipers. Luke Miller will step in. The left fielder wears number 25 from the right side for the Vandegrift Vipers. Defensively for your Eagles in left field, Nation. Center field is Peterson. Right field is Rainey. From the wind-up, the first pitch, outside corner, misses for ball one. To Luke Miller. On deck, Ethan Wood, the catcher for the Vipers. Beautiful day of baseball here at Georgetown. The 1-0 pitch. That one misses just low. Ball 2, 2-0 the count. To the left fielder, Luke Miller. David Flewitt, the lefty, from the windup. The 2-0 pitch. Squares the bunt. He'll bunt it down the first baseline, and here comes Flewitt. He'll field it. The lefty throws, and it's in time. Bang, bang play, but a great job by David Flewitt covering his position off the mound to make the throw to Leininger. 1-3 on the putout for out number 2. Gotta love the effort there, and a good throw there by Flewitt. Last second gets in there for the putout, 1-3. In steps Ethan Wood, the catcher. He'll step in from the left side for the Vipers. The lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch, that breaking pitch in there. No, just misses. Wow. Ball 1 to Ethan Wood. On deck, Aaron Gutierrez, the first baseman. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. Evens out now. Defensively on the infield for Georgetown, Talonball at third. Luke Holly at short. Cord Lawrence at second. Leininger at first. The 1-1 pitch. Misses for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Behind the plate, Reese Herrera on the mound. The lefty, David Flewitt. 6'1", 170-pound junior, throws left. Swing and a miss on the 2-1 pitch. Evens up the count now at 2-2. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Base is empty for Vandegrift here in this Saturday tilt at Georgetown High School. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit to first base, but it's going to be foul down the line. And so Ethan Wood stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here in his first bat of the ball game. Georgetown, the beautiful digital camo uniforms with the white pants with blue pinstripes, white hats with the blue talon and the blue bill. The 2-2 pitch, ground ball pulled foul down the first baseline again. And we'll reset and do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ethan Wood, the number 3 hitter for the Vipers. Fluid from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit it to second. Cord Lawrence fields it. The throw to first in time. And Vandegrift retired in order here in the top of the first. 4-3 on the putout to retire the out of Wood and the Vipers. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on after half an inning. Vandegrift 0. Georgetown coming up to bat. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment.
A portion of this broadcast of Georgetown Eagle Baseball by First Responder Broadcasting is brought to you by Carissa Bradford, your local Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans, protecting our families since 1952. The mission of Texas Farm Bureau is to help policyholders manage the financial risk of everyday life and successfully recover from insured losses through prompt, professional, personal service based on high ethical standards. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance offers comprehensive insurance policies for auto, home, farm and ranch, commercial, and life. Carissa can help you find the perfect policy to give you peace of mind that you're covered by a trusted and reputable insurer. For all your insurance needs, call Carissa at 512-777-8511 or visit www.tfb-ins.com.
Welcome back here to Eagle Field. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Vandegrift Vipers retired in order in the top of the first with 3 groundouts, all in the infield. 6-3, 1-3, and 4-3 for the putouts. And now the Georgetown Eagles will come up here in the top of the first inning. And it'll be Devin Peterson, Talon Ball, Riley Leininger to lead things off for your Georgetown Eagles. Devin Peterson, the center fielder, wears number 17, the 6'2", 205-pound senior. Bats right, throws right. Steps in to lead it off against the left-handed pitcher, number 10, Andres Fernandez. For the Vipers, the first pitch from Fernandez. Ground ball hit up the middle. The shortstop to his left. Hubert across the diamond, and it pulls the first baseman off the bag. And a good hustle there by Devin Peterson to reach base. He'll reach on a throwing error by the shortstop. On to Hubbard. That'll be the first error of the ball game. Georgetown has the leadoff man aboard. And that'll bring up Talon Ball. Ball playing at third base today for Georgetown. Talon, the 5'9", 165-pound senior, throws right, bats right. Steps in here. Fernandez stays in the stretch from the third base side of the rubber. Peterson with the lead off at first, being held on there by Gutierrez. The first pitch, the ball gets away. Peterson's going to take off, and he'll advance on the wild pitch into scoring position down at second base. 1-0 the count to Talon Ball. 1 wild pitch in the book now for Andres Fernandez. Defensively for the Vipers, Miller in left with Sane in center, Hewart Camp in right field. Ball back in for the right side. Fernandez comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 1-0 pitch. Nope. He'll turn towards second, but no throw there. Obalo at third base, Hubbard at short, Millar at second, and Gutierrez at first base. For the Vipers defensively behind the plate is Wood on the mound, the lefty, Andres Fernandez. Fernandez comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch to ball. He squares the bunt, bunts it right out in front of the mound. Peterson will easily have third. The throw to first into right field. The error there is going to score Peterson in from third base. And so back-to-back errors cost the Vipers here, as Fernandez's play was the first, but the throw went awry into right field. And so Talon Ball reaches on the E1, and Peterson comes around to score on that same error, and it's 1-0. Georgetown leads it. In steps the first baseman, number 21, Riley Leiniger. Riley, the 6'2", 220-pound senior. Bats left, throws left, steps in here with no outs and a runner at first base. The dugout chirping early for the Eagles out of the third base dugout. With the mistakes being made here early. Leiniger squares the bunt. The pitch from Fernandez, pulls it back. And a dead ball called. See what is called. It looked like it saying it hit the bat, a foul ball. No, 1 ball, no strikes. So 1-0 the count to Leiniger. Throw over to first base. Talon back in, standing there safely at first. The UIL State Tournament, Soccer Tournament Championships going on today at Birkelbach Field outside the left field wall. Beautiful day for baseball here at Eagle Field. Talon the big lead at first, being held on there. Fernandez comes set, the first pitch, the 1-0 pitch, up and in, almost hit Leiniger. 2-0 now the count. Riley Leiniger, Reese Herrera, the catcher on deck for Georgetown. Vandegrift comes into the ballgame 16-10 overall in their season. More importantly, they're 7-4 in district standings. They sit alone at 4th place, so on the line to make the playoffs for the Vipers in 25-6A. Throw over to first base. Ball dives back in safely there. Cedar Ridge at 9-2. Round Rock at 9-2. Vista Ridge at 8-3. And Vandegrift at 7-4. Currently the playoff standings for 25-6A. A 1-1 count here to Leiniger. They did call the first one a strike off the tip of the bat. The foul ball. Ball off and running. The 1-1 pitch fouled off down the third baseline, out of play. And now the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Riley Leiniger. Talon retreats to first base. An early run here on 2 errors by the Vipers. Leiniger steps back in from the left side with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Fernandez comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch low and away, and it gets past the catcher. A pass ball there allows Talon Ball to cruise into second base. So a wild pitch and a pass ball. Been costly here, along with 2 other errors, 2 errors in the inning by the Vipers. E6 that allowed Peterson to reach base, and E1 that allowed Peterson to score from second base and Talon Ball to reach on his bunt. 2-2 count to Leiniger. No outs and a runner at second. Fernandez a look back at second base, and now a spin and a throw to second base, but the ball slides under it. The 4-man umpiring crew here today, and I love it. They're all in their OD green uniforms with their military tops, and all 4 of them are veterans of our military services. So thank you to our umpiring crew today. The 4 gentlemen also requested when they heard about the game to be a part of this opportunity. And so Fernandez will come set now, a 2-2 count. The 2-2 pitch, Leiniger a swing and a miss, strike 3. So the first out of the inning for Georgetown. First strikeout for Fernandez.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 16, Reese Herrera.
And now with 1 out and a runner at second, in steps the catcher for Georgetown, Reese Herrera, number 16. 6'1", 190-pound senior, bats right, throws right. Herrera, a good night on the road last night at Cedar Creek. Multiple RBI game as well for the catcher. The first pitch, ball off and running, headed to third. The throw down, not in time. Talon Ball, a stolen base, first of the ball game for Georgetown. And now a 1-0 count to Reese Herrera, and a runner down at third base in Talon Ball. Herrera steps back in for the right side. 1 ball, no strikes. Fernandez will come set, the 1-0 pitch. Herrera lays off and takes it for a called strike. 1-1 the count with 1 out and a runner at third base. Here in the bottom of the first, 1 run across for Georgetown. Giving them a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the first innings. Brought to you by Carissa Bradford, your Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent. The 1-1 pitch. And this one skips in, and it gets away. Wild pitch, and that'll allow Talon Ball to score from third base. Second run of the inning on the second wild pitch thrown by Fernandez. And so Georgetown, the 2-run lead here in the bottom of the first. And Reese Herrera. 2-1 count now to Herrera. Base is empty with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Fernandez 2-1 pitch. Ground ball hit out to third. Late hop there. The third baseman, Obalo, across the diamond. There's got to be player interference, and Reese Herrera should have been called safe. The first baseman was kneeling in the line of running, and he collided with the first baseman. But nothing could be said there. He's ruled out. 5-3 on the putout.
Now batting for the
That
Eagles,
throw did
number
not
11,
take the first baseman,
Jackson
Gutierrez, into the base path, but he had set up in the base path on a knee. It made it impossible to step on the bag. And so now Jackson Rainey will step in with 2 outs in the inning. The base is empty and 2 runs across for Georgetown. Fernandez comes set for the lefty-lefty matchup. The first pitch to Rainey. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Jackson. Rainey wears number 11. He is the 6'2", 215-pound junior. Throws right, bats left. He'll step back in for the left side. Crowds the plate towards the back of the box. The 0-1 pitch. Rainey, late swing, chopper down the first baseline. Fernandez over to field it, and he'll step on the bag, 1 unassisted for the 3rd out of the inning, and the Eagles are retired here in the bottom of the first. But not before they pick up 2 runs on 2 errors. 2 runs on no hits, 2 errors, and nobody left on base. After 1 complete inning, Georgetown 2, Vandegrift 0. Military Appreciation Day continues here at Eagle Field in just a moment. Back here live, Eagle Field, as we go to the top of the 2nd inning.
For 5 years, including Operation
David Fluitt, in his first inning of work, faced the minimum 3 batters, only threw 11 pitches, drawing 3 ground outs from the Vandegrift Viper batters. In the 2nd inning, he'll face off against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Gutierrez, Teodecki, and Hubbard, the first baseman, the DH, and the shortstop for the Vandegrift Vipers. Herrera throws down to second base, and in steps Aaron Gutierrez, the first baseman for the Vandegrift Vipers. Georgetown puts up 2 in the bottom of the first inning, thanks to 2 errors and a couple of wild pitches and a pass ball. They get 2 across, lead it 2-0 after 1 complete inning. Gutierrez will step in from the right side for the Vipers, wearing number 10. Fluitt from the third base side of the rubber from the windup. The first pitch to Gutierrez. Foul ball back to the screen. 0-1 the count to Gutierrez. Fluitt gets the sign from Herrera. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball hit into center field. Devin Peterson signals for it and settles under it to make the catch. F8 in the book for out number 1 to retire Gutierrez, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, number 20, Miles Teodecki. Teodecki will step in from the left side for the Vipers with 1 out. And the base is empty here in the top of the 2nd inning. From the windup, the first pitch to Teodecki. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Teodecki. Fluitt from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to the designated hitter here in the top of the 2nd inning. Back in from the left side, Fluitt from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off back behind home plate. Teodecki stays alive in the at-bat. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 2nd. Nice win right to left. As you can see across the American flag out in center field, and the Texas flag. The 0-2 pitch just misses for ball one. 1-2 the count now. Carter Hubbard, the shortstop, on deck for the Vipers here in the top of the second. Fluid's pitch, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. For out number two, Teodecki down on strikes. First strikeout of the ball game for Fluid. And that'll bring up Carter Hubbard, the shortstop.
Now batting
Number 12.
Carter Hubbard.
He'll step in here. The first pitch to Hubbard, a swing and a miss on the outside corner, strike one. Nice pitch there by Fluid. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Base is empty for the Vipers. Fluid from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. That one's in there, called strike two. Fluid working ahead in the counts here early in the ball game. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball pulled down the third baseline, but Talon Ball will field it in foul territory. And Carter Hubbard stays alive. No balls and 2 strikes. Here on Military Appreciation Day, a beautiful day, the Georgetown Eagles in their digital camos with American flag numbers. Honoring veterans here today at Eagle Field. Fluid from the windup. Ground ball to short. Holly up with it to throw across the diamond in time. And the Vipers go in order again here in the top of the second. 6-3 on the putout to retire Hubbard and the Vipers. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on after an inning and a half. Georgetown 2, Vandegrift 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. As we go back to the bottom of the second inning, Georgetown will bring up the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the lineup. Andrew Nations, Hayden Grooms, and Cord Lawrence. From the Doppler Dave official forecast from Sam Bass Firehouse number 3, I believe it is. Today, sunny, 77 degrees, wind south at 16 miles per hour here at Georgetown High School. A beautiful day for high school baseball. What's next on the calendar for Georgetown baseball? I'm glad you asked. Tuesday, it's going to be over at Eastview and the Battle of the Crosstown Classic, the Battle of the San Gabriel, whatever you want to call it. The battle for playoff spots is on Tuesday night and Friday night of next week. Georgetown will be at Eastview on Tuesday night. Join Kelly Duvall and Dave England. They will have the call of that ball game. And then I'll be back to join them on Friday for the ball game at Georgetown when Eastview comes across town for game number 2. But Eastview has put themselves in a position to make the playoffs, and they got something to play for. They sit at 6-4, tied in the 3rd spot for a playoff spot with Hendrickson, and they just swept Hendrickson 2-0. And so an opportunity for Georgetown to hurt the Eastview Patriots, but an opportunity for the Eastview Patriots to do some damage to Georgetown as they sit at 10-0 in the district standings. Georgetown looking to win a district championship on their own here in the next week. Fernandez comes set. The first pitch to Nations bounces in there for ball 1. 1-0 the count. So join us live on the SHN Sports Network. First Responder Broadcasting will have all things Georgetown baseball next week. Baseball on Tuesday at Eastview. The coaches show on Thursday. The 1-0 pitch here to Nations. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 7 o'clock Thursday at Mesquite Creek Outfitters. They'll be back for the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show with Coach Vieira and some Eagle baseball players. And then Friday, back here at the Eagle Field for that battle with Eastview. 1-1 pitch, ground ball out to the mound. Fernandez fields it. He'll pitch underhanded over to first base in time to record the out of Andrew Nations. 1-3 on the putout. We're out number 1. In the first inning of work, Fernandez allowed 2 runs. Struck out 1, 2 wild pitches, a pass ball with 2 errors through 14 pitches. Now stepping in is the DH, number 7. That is Hayden Grooms. Hayden steps in from the right side. First pitch from Fernandez. Grooms takes it low as it skips back underneath the glove of the catcher. And now some changes defensively for the Vipers. Not sure how many changes they're going to make. Number 14, which was the catcher, Ethan Wood, is now at first base. The 1-0 pitch to Grooms misses inside for ball 2. Looks like behind the plate right now happens to be number 2 for the Vipers. We'll try to do some research on their lineup. The 2-0 pitch to Grooms is high for ball 3. Hayden Grooms, the 5'10", 180-pound senior, has filled the DH role here in the last few games, doing his job there in the lineup. The 3-0 pitch in there for a called strike, 3-1 the count. On deck, Cord Lawrence, the second baseman for your Georgetown Eagles. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning, no one on base. 3-1 count to the DH, Hayden Grooms. The 3-1 pitch misses low, ball 4. Grooms draws a 1-out walk. First walk issued by Fernandez.
Now batting
in steps number 4.
Cord Lawrence.
Cord Lawrence steps in, the 5'9", 155-pound senior. Bats right, throws right. Steps in from the right side with 1 out and a runner at first. Grooms down at first with a 1-out walk. Lawrence will step in here from the right side. On deck moves Luke Holly, the number 9 hitter. First pitch to Lawrence. Skips in for ball 1. Lawrence steps out, gets the signs as Grooms leads off first, being held on by Ethan Wood. Throw over to first base. And the throw gets over the head of the first baseman down the line. Another error there as Grooms cruises into second base. He'll stay put there. So on the pickoff attempt, another error here for the Vipers. Allows Grooms to move into scoring position with 1 out. Second throwing error on the ball game for the pitcher, Fernandez. And that one catches the outside corner for a called strike. Now the count 1-1 to Cord Lawrence. Hayden Grooms down at second base. A 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Grooms leads off second. Fernandez pitch, the 1-1 pitch. Lawrence sends it down the right field line, but it curls foul. And the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes to the second baseman, Cord Lawrence. Fernandez comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Lawrence ground ball down the third baseline. Oballo fields it across the bag. The throw across the diamond in time. Nice play there by the third baseman. Oballo. Grooms unable to advance, and now 2 outs and a runner at second. 5-3 on the putout.
Now batting number 6, Luke.
In steps Luke Holly, the third baseman. Holly, the 6'2", 180-pound junior. Throws right, bats right. Playing at shortstop today for your Eagles. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Andres Fernandez, the starter for the Vipers, comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Holly. On the outside corner, called strike 1, 0-1 the count. Holly back in ready. Fernandez will come set in the stretch. A look at second base. The 0-1 pitch. A swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Luke Holly. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 2-0. Georgetown leads it over the Vipers. 2 runs in the bottom of the first thanks to a couple of Viper errors, a couple of wild pitches, a pass ball. And now threatening here with a runner in scoring position in the bottom of the second inning. 0-2 the count to Holly. The 0-2 pitch. Holly fouls it off, stays alive in the at-bat. No balls, 2 strikes. On deck, Devin Peterson, the number 1 hitter in the Eagle lineup. Should Holly be able to extend this inning for the Eagles? Fernandez, a long look in. Look back at second. The 0-2 pitch. Holly ground ball down the third baseline into the outfield. That's going to be an RBI base hit. Holly around first. He's motoring for second. Here comes the throw, and Holly slides in safely. An RBI double to give the Eagles a 3-0 lead, and so they continue their two-out rally ways here as Luke Holly hits a shot down the third baseline. Opalo laid out for it. He made contact with the ball, but not a routine play at all, and a great RBI double for Luke Holly. A 3-0 lead for your Eagles. And that brings up Devin Peterson. He's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Reached on an error by the shortstop Hubbard. Came around to score the first run of the ballgame. First pitch to Peterson is up and away. The wild pitch into the net. That allows Holly to easily cruise into third base. Third wild pitch of the ballgame for Fernandez. You heard that one crash into the mic. So a 1-0 count to Devin Peterson, and now a runner just 90 feet away, and Luke Holly at third base. 2 outs here at the bottom of the second. 1 run across. The 1-0 pitch. Peterson lays off, and it takes it low in the turf for ball 2. 2-0 the count. The Eagle dugout getting things going here for Georgetown in the bottom of the second inning. Peterson back ready. Fernandez comes set. The 2-0 pitch. Fernandez chops it foul down the third baseline. 4 strike 1. 2-1 the count now. To Devin Peterson, your center fielder. On deck, Talon Ball, the third baseman. Should Peterson extend the inning? 2 in the first, 1 here in the second. Eagles lead at 3-0 over the Vipers. Fernandez comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Peterson lays off, takes it outside for ball 3. 3-1 the count now to Devin Peterson. Fernandez gets the sign and comes set in the stretch. The 3-1 pitch to Peterson. And a ball hit into left field, and it's going to be down for an RBI base hit. It gets to the wall off a hop. Peterson around first. He'll cruise into second with a 2-out RBI double of his own. Back-to-back RBI doubles. And the lead stretched to 4 now. 4-0 for your Georgetown Eagles. Nice piece of hitting there with Devin Peterson on the 3-1 count. He got the hitter's pitch. He put it into the left center field wall. Off a hop, and here comes Talon Ball in his second plate appearance. He's 0 for 1 of the ballgame. Reached on a throwing error by the pitcher Fernandez on his bunt attempt. Reached second on a pass ball, stole third, and scored on a wild pitch for the second run of the ballgame for Georgetown. Peterson will lead off second. His ball back in from the right side. Fernandez comes set in the stretch. First pitch to ball. Talon with a swing, a ground ball out. Third baseman Apollo. It's off his glove as he was trying to cut it between the hole at third and short. And it's over to the knocks it over to the shortstop Hubbard. No play at first base. An infield single for Talon Ball. And Peterson cruises into third base. Now runners on the corners for Georgetown. So the Eagles putting pressure on the left side of the Viper defense here on the infield. Obalo back and forth he goes, left side, right side, trying to field these balls. And now it's a runners on first and third with 2 outs, and in steps number 21, Riley Leininger. The 6'2", 220-pound senior back in. He's 0 for 1 in the ballgame with the strikeout. Throw to first base. Talon Ball back standing. So Ethan Wood, the catcher, is over at first base now defensively for the Vipers. And he holds on Talon Ball at first base. Peterson leads off third. Leininger comes set as Fernandez. The first pitch to Leininger is up and in, ball 1. 1-0 count to Leininger. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 2 runs across, a 4-0 lead for your Eagles. Reese Herrera waits his turn on deck. Should Leininger extend the inning? The 1-0 pitch, ball off and running. The throw down to second. The ball will stop. Peterson heads home, and he'll slide in, and they'll call him out. So the inning comes to an end. That play will go 2-4-2 on the pickoff to catch Peterson trying to steal home. In the bottom of the second comes to an end for Georgetown, but not before they get 2 more runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. After 2 innings, Georgetown 4, Vipers 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here live, Eagle Field. Fluid on for a third inning of work. First pitch misses just low. To the Vipers, Cole Wassane. The center fielder for the Vipers. 1-0 the count. Fluid from the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. Wassane, the seventh hitter in the Viper lineup. Vipers have gone in order in the top 2 innings. Wassane, Hewerkamp, and Obalo due up. 1-1 pitch, a swing and a miss on a break or an off-speed pitch outside. 1-2 now the count to Wassane. Fluid through 2 innings, has thrown 22 pitches, faced 6 batters, struck out 1. The 1-2 pitch outside and away for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Wassane from the right side, back in, ready to go. Fluid gets the sign from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball sent into right field. Jackson Rainey will make the play for out number 1. F9 in the book to retire Wassane. And that'll bring up the right fielder, number 2, Jack Hewerkamp. Hewerkamp will step in from the right side. 1 out, and the base is empty here in the top of the 3rd. Georgetown leads it 4-0 over the Vipers. 2 in the bottom of the first, 2 in the bottom of the second. Fluid from the windup. The first pitch to Hewerkamp. Squares the bunt, but misses it for strike 1. 0-1 the count. On deck, Tristan Obalo, the third baseman for the Vipers. The 0-1 pitch from Fluid. Line drive out just over shortstop into left center field for a base hit. First hit of the ballgame for the Vipers. Gives them a 1-out base runner down at first base. Nice piece of hitting there by Hewerkamp. And that'll bring up Tristan Obalo with 1 out and a runner at first. Courtesy runner for the Vipers down at first base. Try to get that number here in just a second. First pitch swinging. And Obalo hit it down the third baseline, but pulls foul for strike 1. 0-1 the count to the number 9 hitter, Tristan Obalo. Obalo steps back in from the right side. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the 3rd. Fluid from the stretch, the 0-1 pitch. Obalo lays off and takes it low for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Herrera keeps it close by. The runner unable to advance from first base. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a beautiful breaking pitch by Fluid. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. To the number 9 hitter, Obalo. On deck, Cash Millard. The 1-2 pitch. Down in the turf. Nice block by Herrera. 2-2 now the count to Obalo. Cash Millard, the second baseman, on deck for the Vipers here at the top of the 3rd. 1 out with runner on first base. A 2-2 count. Fluid from the third base side of the rubber comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive down the left field line, but curled foul off the training facility. Stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tuesday night, 7 p.m., first pitch. Over at Eastview High School, the Crosstown Classic will come your way. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball slapped down the third baseline. Talent Ball fields it. The throw across the diamond is low. Leininger able to get it out of the turf. So the first error of the ball game for Georgetown allows another base runner here in the top of the third. First and second now.
Now batting number 15, Cash Millar.
Cash Millar will step in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out to the shortstop. Luke Holly back in the first inning. Steps in here with one out and runners at first and second. Fluid remains in the stretch. A look back at second base. The first pitch to Millar. Ground ball hit to short. Holly flips it to Lawrence at second for one. On to first in time. 6, 4, 3. Double play. And the Eagles get out of trouble here in the top of the third. No runs on one hit, one error, and one runner left on base. After 2.5 innings, Georgetown 4, Vandegrift 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment.
A portion of this broadcast of Georgetown Eagle Baseball is brought to you by Mahan Home and Commercial Services. Your source for all things roofing. We provide you with all the information you need to make a decision about your roof, the first line of defense against Mother Nature. A veteran-owned small business that believes in service with a purpose. Our mission is to service our residential neighbors and commercial community by providing the utmost quality materials and service. Our services include residential roofing, commercial roofing, ladder assist, and holiday lighting. Contact Jesse Mahan at 512-828-7800 or visit their website at mahanhcs.com. Mahan Home and Commercial Services, proud sponsor of First Responder Broadcasting and Georgetown Eagle Baseball.
We go to the bottom of the third. Georgetown, the 4-run lead on the Vipers as we go to bat. Riley Leininger will step back in as his at-bat was cut short on the caught stealing of Devin Peterson. First pitch from the new pitcher, Tyler Lee, is called ball 1. 1-0 the count to Riley Leininger. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Lee, the right-handed pitcher from the stretch. 1-0 pitch, misses low for ball 2. 2-0 the count. A treat for you on Tuesday night at Eastview, not just because it's Eastview Georgetown, because Kelly Duvall and Doppler Dave will bring the call of the game for Eagle baseball. Leininger rips this one foul behind the head of David Durrell down at first base. And now a 2-1 count. Tuned in, 6:45-ish. They can figure it all out. They'll be live and bring you the Crosstown Classic against the Eastview Patriots on Tuesday night. 7 o'clock first pitch. 2-1 pitch sells high for ball 3. 3-1 the count now to Riley Leininger. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here in the bottom of the third. Leininger, Herrera, and Rainey. The 3-1 pitch. That one's inside. A leadoff walk for Georgetown. As Leininger aboard, first walk issued by Tyler Lee. In 2 innings of work,
Number 16,
Fernandez
Herrera
gave up 4 runs, but only 1 hit allowed. Struck out 1, walked 1, but had 3 wild pitches and wasn't helped out with 3 errors by the defense. First pitch Two Herrera's called a strike on the inside part of the plate. No balls, one strike. Leininger leads off first, being held on by Ethan Wood there for the Vipers as Lee comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Herrera cranks it down the third baseline. Not much of a valiant effort there by Coach Vieira to grab the foul ball. But it goes down the left field line for strike two. 0-2 the count. Doppler Dave. Make a note of that one as he gave us some heckling last night about us ducking behind the cage. A throw over to first. Leininger dives back in safely there. And that one hits Herrera up in the helmet. Rocks the dome there, but the catcher gives the old thumbs up sign to the umpire. So Reese Herrera heads down to first after wearing that one upside the noggin. And he'll have a courtesy runner out for him here, and that's going to be number 24, Justin Soto, the 5'10", 170-pound junior. It's a run for Herrera. Runners on first and second now after a walk and a hit by pitch.
Now batting.
In steps Jackson Rainey, the right fielder, number 11. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Leininger leads off second. Soto off first. Rainey squares the bunt. Lee will step off. The infield started to shift for the Vipers. Ethan Wood starts out about 2 steps in on the grass at first base. Rainey squares early. Lee will turn back towards second base. And no throw as Leininger just a couple of steps off the bag at second base. Lee comes set in the stretch. Rainey squares the bunt again. Lee's pitch to Rainey. He'll pull it back and take it for ball one. 1-0 the count now. To Jackson Rainey, your right fielder. Andrew Nation's the left fielder on deck for your Eagles. No outs here in the bottom of the third. Runners on first and second. Rainey squares the bunt. Lee comes set. The pitch. He'll pull it back and take it high for ball two. 2-0 the count now to Jackson Rainey. Vieira goes through the signs down at third base. Coach Durrell down at first for Georgetown. Tyler Lee comes set. Rainey squares the bunt. Pitches in, bunts it down the third baseline, but bunts it foul. Couple of claps of the hands by Rainey, frustrated with himself. And now the count, 2 balls and a strike to the senior right fielder, Jackson Rainey. Beautiful day for baseball and a beautiful day for Military Appreciation Day here at Eagle Field. I tell you what, if they do it right here at Eagle Field in Georgetown. The program put together a great opportunity this morning. Some batting practice with the players this morning, and then a nice lunch catered in for the veterans and their families before being able to join them on the field for the national anthem. A bunt down the third baseline again by Rainey. It's foul one more time, and the count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a wonderful opportunity to be a part of that with Eagle Baseball as a guest of David Fluitt. Two-two count to Rainey. No outs, runners at first and second. Lee comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch down low, gets away from the catcher. And Rainey's going to say it hit him, but the umpire tells him to come on back. But that wild pitch down in the dirt, down in the turf, allows both runners to advance. So Leininger moves up to third base on that wild pitch. Reese Herrera or Justin Soto up to second base as he runs for Herrera. And now Rainey will step back in with a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Runners at second and third now for Georgetown here in the bottom of the third inning. Rainey's going to call time and step out. Soto leads off second. Leininger off first. Tyler Lee, the new pitcher, comes set in the stretch. A payoff pitch to Rainey. Outside and up high for ball 4, and the bases are full of Eagles now with no outs here in the bottom of the third. The second walk by Lee, combined with a hit by pitch of Reese Herrera, has loaded him up, and in steps Andrew Nations. Nations, the left fielder, 6'2", 190-pound senior, bats left, throws left, steps in here with the bases loaded and no outs. An opportunity for your Eagles to open this one up. I'll get caught up on the scoreboard. I apologize. Now the bases are full with no count. First pitch, Andrew Nations hits it into right center field. It's down. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Leininger in from third. Here comes Soto from second base. And here comes Rainey all the way around from first base. 3 runs come across for your Eagles to make it 7-0. Andrew Nations, a 3 RBI double. Moves up to third on the bobble by the right fielder. But a good piece of hitting there by Nations puts up a 7 spot on the board. Georgetown leads it by 7.
Number 7, Hayden Grooms.
A big hit there by Andrew Nations, and Hayden Grooms steps in now. He's 0 for 0 with a walk and a run scored. Steps in with no outs and a runner at third base. First pitch to Grooms. He lays off and takes it for a called strike. 0-1 to count. The 0-1 pitch, Grooms. High hopper off the turf. Fair down the third baseline. An RBI base hit for Grooms. He's around first, and he'll be stopped there. An RBI single by Grooms. They're going to give Andrew Nations a triple on that. So a 3 RBI triple by Nations and an RBI single by Grooms. As the 8th run across for the Eagles. And in steps Cord Lawrence. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. As he steps in. With no outs and a runner at first base. Lee comes set. The first pitch to Lawrence. Takes it in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count. Oh, and 1 to count to Lawrence. Grooms off first. The first 0-1 pitch popped up right side of the infield. The second baseman calls for it, makes the catch for the Vipers for out number 1. P4 in the book to record the out of court for the first out of the inning, and in steps Luke Holly.
6, Luke Holly.
Holly 1 for 1 in the ball game, an RBI double back in the second inning. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at first base. Swing and a miss for strike 1 to Holly. 0-1 to count. Eight to nothing. Georgetown leads it with 4 across here in the inning. The 0-1 pitch down low in the turf. Wild pitch allows Grooms to cruise into second base. 5th wild pitch of the ball game. For Viper pitching. Grooms leads off second. A 1-1 count to Luke Holly. The 1-1 pitch. Holly takes a hack at it, drives it down the first baseline, but it curls out of play. 1-2 now the count to the shortstop, Luke Holly. That one's down in the turf. Nice block by the catcher. 2-2 now the count. To Luke Holly with 1 out and a runner at second base. 4 across here in the inning, an 8-0 lead for Georgetown. Holly back in. Tyler Lee comes set. Pitcher looks back at second. And now a time at home plate by Holly. He'll step out and reset himself. Two count to Holly with 1 out, a runner at second. Lee looks back at second base. The 2-2 pitch. Holly takes it high for ball 3. Full count now to Holly with 1 out, and Grooms down at second base. Quick visit from the catcher out to the mound to talk to Lee there for the Vipers. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 4 here in the third for Georgetown. 8-0 lead over the Vipers. Both teams starting that preparation for the playoffs, playing 3 games, playing back-to-back games Friday, Saturday to get used to the schedule. And here comes the dugout shot for the Eagles. The payoff pitch, nope, turned toward second base. No one there. Grooms just cruises back 2 steps off. The Eagle dugout getting going here. And the chomp. Lee comes set, the payoff pitch. Holly pulls it foul just off of the building by the dugout at third base. Stays alive in the account. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Lee comes set in the stretch. A look back at second base. The payoff pitch. Holly hits a ground ball but pulls it foul down the third baseline. Stays alive in the at-bat. A great at-bat here for Luke Holly. We talked about it last night. Dave and I did down at Cedar Creek. One thing that Coach Vieira emphasizes to the team is once you have 2 strikes, it's no longer your at-bat, it's a team at-bat. See pitches, foul them off. Do what you have to do to battle and see the pitches from them to help your teammates and their next at-bats. And so Luke Holly doing a great job here. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Swing and a miss. It's down to the turf. It gets away from the catcher. Holly down the first baseline, and he's going to beat it. So it'll be a strikeout in the book for Soto, or for Tyler Lee. But it'll allow a base runner. Grooms moves up to third base.
Now batting for the Eagles.
So a strikeout in the book.
Devin Peterson.
Got a runner down at first on the drop third strike. That'll bring up the top of the lineup. Devin Peterson, he's 1 for 2. Hit an RBI double in the second. Reached on an error in the first and scored. Steps in here with 1 out and runners on the corners at first and third base. Lee in the yo-yo. He looks. He's going to throw, but he throws it into right center field. Hayden Grooms is going to cruise in for the 9th run of the ball game, and Luke Holly's going to come around all the way from first base to score run number 10. So a costly error there by the pitcher. Allows the Eagles to score, and that'll bring a visit from Coach Hickel of Vandegrift. We'll take a timeout with them. Military Appreciation Day continues here at Eagle Field on the SHN Sports Network. Now on to pitch for the Vipers is number 6, Joey Stevens. He comes in, the righty will work from the windup, or from the stretch. The base is empty and 1 out. Devin Peterson steps in. The first pitch from Stevens is up and away for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch from Stevens is outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Joey Stevens, the right-hander, third pitcher on the day for the Vipers. Comes set in the stretch. The 2-0 pitch to Peterson. Misses low and outside for ball 3. 3-0 the count. Talon Ball waits on deck. He'll be the 9th hitter of the inning for your Georgetown Eagles. They'll bat around here in the bottom of the third. Leading it 10-0 now. Stevens 3-0 pitch. Outside ball 4. First 4-pitch walk to Peterson. First walk by Stevens gives the Eagles a 1-out base runner. And Talon Ball will step in. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Reached on an error in the first inning. Came around to score the second run of the ball game. Singled in the second, was left stranded. And he'll step in here with 1 out and a runner at first. Peterson held on to first by Wood. The first pitch from Stevens to Ball. Stays high for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Talon. The Eagles out here early this morning for the Challenger games, the special needs baseball activities that begin on Saturday morning. And what an opportunity it was as we set up for the game today. To see the smiles on the kids' faces and the interaction with the players, varsity team, the coaches out there. It was a great activity that happens every Saturday morning during the baseball season here at Georgetown High School. Come out and join them. I got to see one of a familiar face from our church out here participating this morning, and his family. Just to see the smiles on these kids' faces that get to come out here and play the game of baseball with these baseball players. The 1-0 pitch to Talon Ball in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. 10-0. Georgetown leads it here in the bottom of the third on Military Appreciation Day. Stevens, the third pitcher for the Vipers, comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Talon pop fly right side of the infield. Peterson will have to retreat. Second baseman calls off. And Peterson slides back in safely. P4 in the book for the out of Talon at the plate for out number 2. And that'll bring up Riley Leininger for the second time in the inning.
Now batting number 21, Riley Leininger.
Leininger 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Struck out in the first. Walked and scored a run earlier here in the inning. One of the 6 runs on the board for the Eagles here in the third. Steps in from the left side with Peterson down at first. Wood holds him on there. Stevens comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Leininger is outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Leininger. He'll check his swing and take it for called strike 1. 1-1 the count. The starter, Andres Fernandez, in his 2 innings of work through 38 pitches, allowed 4 runs on 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, and 3 wild pitches. The 1-1 to Leininger lays off higher for ball 2. 2-1 the count to the senior first baseman, Riley Leininger, on deck. Looks like number 13, our first substitute of the ball game. Leininger takes this one low for ball 3. It looks like Reese Seaman. Or is that Reese Herrera? It's hard to read the American numbers on the back of the digital. It is number 13. So Reese Seaman has moved in the on-deck circle. He'll sub in for the catcher, Reese Herrera. 3-1 pitch misses, ball 4. Back-to-back walks as runners at first and second now for the Georgetown Eagles here in the bottom of the third inning. And here comes the first substitute of the ball game. Reese Seaman will step in for the Eagles.
13, Reese Seaman.
Oh, Reese will step in. He bats from the left side, throws right. 5'10", 170-pound junior catcher. Steps in here with 1 out and runners on first and second. Stevens comes set. The first pitch to Seaman misses up and strike, but it's off the glove of the catcher, Hurricane. That allows both runners to move up on the pass ball. 0-1 the count to Reese Seaman. Visit from Hurricane out to Stevens to make sure they get the signals straight. Leininger up to second, Peterson to third on that pass ball. Stevens comes set. The 0-1 pitch to Reese. And that hits him. Reese even down to first base. He thought the ump called time, like, come back. So Reese Seaman will have a courtesy runner, being the catcher. Looks like number 22. Number 22, that's Jaden Howe. 6'3", 165-pound junior will run for Reese Seaman down at first base. Base is full of Eagles now. And another substitution here at home plate. Looks like number 24, Justin Soto, coming in to bat for Jackson Rainey. So Justin Soto. Soto will come in for Jackson Rainey. Stevens comes set. The first pitch to Soto. It's in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Justin Soto. Soto, the 5'10", 170-pound junior, bats right. The 0-1 pitch. Takes it low for ball one. 1-1 the count. 12th batter of the inning for Georgetown here in the bottom of the third. They lead it 10-0 over the Vandegrift Vipers. Peterson at third, Leininger at second. Soto fouls off the 1-1 pitch. 1-2 now the count. And Jaden Howe, the courtesy runner, down at first base for the catcher Reese Seaman, who was hit by the pitch. The 1-2 pitch to Soto. He'll take it low on the turf. For ball two, 2-2 the count. See who's on deck. I'm not going to assume it's anybody we know. It's not Andrew Nations, the lefty. It's a right-handed hitter into the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Another sub here. So we'll get that number in just a second. The 2-2 pitch. Soto takes it outside for ball three. 3-2 now the count. To the Justin Soto, hitting in the number 5 slot. The payoff pitch. Soto hits it down the left field line, but it's going to curl foul. So everybody will return to their respective bases as the runners were off with 2 outs. On deck is going to be Colton Crutchfield for your Eagles in the Andrew Nation spot. Should Soto be able to extend the inning here for Georgetown. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, so the bases loaded. 6 runs across, 10-0 lead for Georgetown. Stevens comes set. The payoff pitch. Soto, fly ball right side of the infield. Second baseman calls for it. Now comes charging in and makes the catch for out number 3. P4 in the book to retire Soto and the Eagles here in the bottom of the third, but not before Georgetown picks up 6 more runs and leads it 10-0. Georgetown baseball continues here in just a moment on the SHN Sports Network. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. The Vandegrift Vipers will bring up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup. Luke Miller, Ethan Wood, and Aaron Gutierrez. As David Fluitt goes on for his 4th inning of work through 3 innings. Fluitt has given up 1 hit, struck out 1. Only faced 10 batters, thrown 36 pitches. Miller steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game, grounded out on a bunt attempt to Fluid back of the first. The first pitch from Fluid outside for ball 1. Behind the plate defensively is Reese Seaman, the catcher in left field. Colton Crutchfield goes in for Andrew Nations. In right field, Justin Soto takes over for Jackson Rainey. The 1-0 pitch to Miller. Outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Would expect this will be the last inning we see Fluid on the mound. 2-0 pitch, ground ball down the third baseline. Talon ball, the backhand. The throw across the diamond in time. What a play. Put a gold star on it. Mighty Mouse showing the footwork, the glove work, and the cannon from third base to retire Miller on the 5-3 putout. What a play there. Behind Talon ball. Good job by Leininger to scoop that one out of the turf to complete the play at first base. Ethan Wood will step in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game as well. The lefty-lefty matchup here. The big bender misses just high for ball 1. Fluid from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. That one misses for ball 2. 2-0 the count. The 2-0 pitch from Fluid. Line drive hit down the left field line, and it's fair. It'll take a couple of hops off the wall. Ethan Wood around first. He's headed to second base, and he'll cruise in with a 1-out double. Just a second hit of the ball game for the Vipers. Nice piece of hitting there by the lefty. He sent the shot down the left field line to the corner, and a 1-out double there. We'll bring up Aaron Gutierrez. He had moved to right field defensively for the Vipers. Fluid comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Gutierrez. Misses low for ball 1. Gutierrez 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out to center field back in the second inning. Steps in here with a 1-out in the top of the 4th and a runner down at second base and Ethan Wood. Fluid comes set in the stretch. A look back at second base and the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball hit out towards second. Cord Lawrence will field it. The throw to first in time. Nice play there. Leininger started to play for it, but Lawrence shifted over, made the plays. The runner advances to third on the ground out to the right side, but 2 outs here in the inning now. 4-3 on the putout of Gutierrez. And Ethan Wood moves up to third, and in steps Miles Teodecki. He's 0 for 1 in the ballgame with a strikeout back in the second inning. 2 outs and a runner at third from the windup. Fluid's first pitch to Teodecki. Fly ball down the third baseline, but that's going to curl out of play. Foul for strike 1. Teodecki, the designated hitter for the Vipers here in the ballgame. You back in from the left side. The 0-1 pitch. Line drive hit out into right field. Soto on the run. It's into right center field. That'll be down for extra bases. An RBI for Teodecki as he gets all the way to the wall. He's going to circle second, and he'll cruise into third base with an RBI triple. Nice shot there by Teodecki. Score the first run of the ballgame for the Vipers on back-to-back, or 2 extra base hits here in the inning. Scores Ethan Wood from third base for the first run of the ball game for the Vipers. Teodecki into third base. In steps number 12, Carter Hubbard. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Shortstop's first pitch is outside. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. Runner at third with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. The Vipers responded with one of their own and a runner at third. The 1-0 pitch. Square to punt, but pops it up and back to the net for strike 1. 1-1 now the count. To all our veterans that might be listening today, thank you for your service to our country. We've been playing the different anthems for each of the 5 military branches as the 2-0 or 1-1 pitch is down low in the turf for ball 2. So different military-themed music to show our appreciation for all the veterans out there. The 2-1 pitch. Line drive into right field. Soto comes in but can't get to it. And that's an RBI base hit for Hubbard. 10-2 now. The Vipers have 2 runs across here in the inning. Nice piece of hitting there by Hubbard as he punched that one into right field.
Now batting number 17.
The old punching Judy base hit for Hubbard. Scores Miles Teodecki And in steps Cole Wassane. Nope, this is going to be a pinch. Yeah, it is Cole Wassane. Over at first base running will be number 11. Looks like Springer is the last name. Garrett Springer. So Springer running over at first base for Carter Hubbard.
Now running number 11, Garrett Springer.
Cole Wassane, the center fielder, will step in here with 2 outs and a runner at first with 2 runs across here in the top of the 4th. And 3 base hits for the Vipers. Floyd comes set in the stretch. First pitch to Wassane, skips in low for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Wassane flew out to right field back in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Floyd comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Line drive down the 3rd baseline, but that curls foul. 1-1 now the count to Wassane. Floyd gets a sign from Seaman, comes set in the stretch. Fouled off for strike 2. 1-2 now the count to Cole Wassane. With Jack Hewerkamp, the catcher, on deck for the Vipers. If Wassane can extend the inning. The runner, Springer, off first. The 1-2 pitch, foul ball off of himself at home plate. Wassane stays alive in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tuesday night, join Kelly Duvall and Dave England as they bring you the Crosstown Classic at Eastview High School. The Eastview Patriots host your Georgetown Eagles on Tuesday night. A battle will ensue. The 1-2 pitch fouled off down the 3rd baseline, and Cole Wassane continues to battle here in this top of the 4th inning. But an important ball game for both teams. Georgetown looking to sew up a district championship, in Eastview looking to make the playoffs as they have had a big sweep of Hendrickson this week. A 2-game sweep in that 2-game series, and gave themselves a good shot at getting into the playoffs with 6-4 record, tied with Hendrickson for 3rd place. The 1-2 pitch, fisted down the left field line, but that one's going to curl foul. Cole Wassane stays alive again. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 4th. Georgetown sits atop the district standings at 10-0. They're guaranteed a playoff spot at this point. If they lose all 4 games, they can't be any worse than 4th. But more importantly, they're looking to close out a district title now that they've made the playoffs. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Fluid gets out of it here in the top of the 4th. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base after 3.5 innings. Georgetown 10, Vandegrift 2. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment. And we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. First at bat for Colton Crutchfield. Takes it on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Crutchfield. On the mound now, number 9, Carter Hubbard. The shortstop moves to the mound for the 4th pitcher for the Vipers. The 0-1 pitch on the outside corner, called strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Colton Crutchfield, who's in defensively in left field. The 0-2 pitch, Crutchfield hits it into shallow center field and drops it in for an 0-2 base hit. Good piece of hitting there by Crutchfield. Shortened up the stroke and put it into center field for the base hit. Leadoff batter aboard for the Eagles.
Now batting, number 5, Tate Ritchie.
Now number 5, Tate Ritchie subs into the ball game in the DH spot for Hayden Grooms. First pitch to Ritchie is high for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Ritchie with Crutchfield at first. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. 1-1 count to Ritchie. Hubbard works from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch to Ritchie. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 now the count. Here in the bottom of the 4th, 10-2. Georgetown leads it over Vandegrift. Crutchfield being held on at first by Ethan Wood. The 1-2 pitch. Ritchie is swing and a miss. Strike 3. First strikeout for Hubbard. And now coming up to bat for your Eagles, number 4, Cord Lawrence steps in. He's 0-2 in the ball game. A ground out and a pop out. Steps in with 1 out and a runner at first base as Hubbard stays in the stretch. A little flip over to first, but Crutchfield back easily at first. A swing and a miss on the first pitch by Lawrence. 0-1 the count to Cord. On deck in the on-deck circle, Riley Hill has slid into the on-deck circle to hit the number 9 slot for Luke Colley. Crutchfield off and running. The pitch called a strike, thrown down to second, not nearly in time. Colton Crutchfield, the beautiful stolen base there for your Eagles. So 0-2 the count now to Lawrence, the runner in scoring position at second base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. The 0-2 pitch. Lawrence pop fly right side of the infield. The second baseman, Millar, calls for it. He'll settle under it and make the catch for out number 2. P4 in the book. And that'll bring in Riley Hill for the Eagles. Pinch hitting here in the number 9 slot for your Eagles.
Now batting number 3,
Riley Hill, the 5'7".
Hill.
5'7", 160-pound senior outfielder. Bats right, throws right, steps in with 2 outs and a runner at second. Hubbard's first pitch to Hill. Outside corner called strike 1. 0-1 the count. Crutchfield leads off second base. Hubbard comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Hill hits it into right center field. The center fielder was saying gives chase. And he'll settle under it to make the catch and retire the Eagles here in the bottom of the 4th. F8 in the book to retire Hill and the Eagles. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. After 4 complete, Georgetown 10, Vandegrift 2. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment. we go to the top of the 5th inning. Tate Ritchie on in relief of David Fluid here for the Georgetown Eagles. Ritchie, the 5'7", 160-pound junior, throws from the right side. His first pitch to Hewerkamp is outside for ball 1. He'll face off against the 8-9-1 hitters here in the top of the 5th inning for the Vandegrift Vipers. The 1-0 pitch right down Main Street for a called strike 1. 1-1 the count now to the catcher Hewerkamp. The 1-1 pitch fouled off at home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Hewerkamp. In 4 innings of work for David Fluid, he allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 strikeouts thrown. He only threw 57 pitches. And this 4 innings of work gives way to Tate Ritchie now for the Eagles, leading it 10-2. The 1-2 pitch. It's low and outside on the breaking pitch. Ball 2. Reese Seaman, a catcher for your Eagles. Defensively in the outfield, Crutchfield in left. Peterson stays in center. Soto in right. The infield stays the same with Talonball at third, Holly at short, Cord Lawrence at second, and Leininger at first. The 2-2 breaking pitch misses just high for ball 3 and a full count here to Jack Hewerkamp for the Vipers to lead off the top of the 5th inning. From the windup, the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball hit down the third baseline. Backhand by Ball all the way in the corner. The throw across the diamond. Scoop by Leininger. What a play. Talent Ball put on a show at third base today. Usually find him at second base, but the Mighty Mouse strikes again over at third base on a beautiful play there. 5-3 on the putout to retire Hewerkamp. And in steps Tristan Obalo, the shortstop for the Vipers now after he went there when Hubbard went to the mound. Tate Ritchie stays in the windup from the first base side of the rubber. The first pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch from Tate Ritchie. Inside corner just misses for ball 1. 1-1 the count to Tristan Obalo. On deck, Cash Millar, the second baseman for the Vipers. The 1-1 pitch from Ritchie. That was in there for a called strike 2. 1-2 now the count. On the season pitching, Tate Ritchie's thrown 8 innings. Appeared in 3 games. He's got a 1-1 record. The 1-2 pitch is down low for ball 2. Ritchie has allowed 5 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned, a 4.375 ERA, a 192 batting average against by opponents. As he works here, the 2-2 pitch. That one stays up high on the breaking pitch. And now a full count with 1 out and the bases empty here in the top of the 5th to Tristan Obalo for the Vipers. Ritchie gets a sign from Reese Seaman. From the windup, the payoff pitch. Fly ball back out of play down the first base side. And Obalo stays alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The Crosstown Classic is ready to go next week. First game on Tuesday will be at Eastview. The 3-2 pitch, ground ball hit out to short on a hop to Holly. He sets his feet. The throw across the diamond skips into the glove of Leininger. Use that turf to your advantage. 6-3 on the putout for out number 2. And the Vipers will bring up Cash Millar, the second baseman here. In the top of the 5th with 2 outs and the base is empty. Tuesday night at Eastview, Georgetown will be the guest. Friday night back home here at Eagle Field, Georgetown will host the Patriots in the beautiful battle between the district schools here in Georgetown ISD. First pitch to Millar. The breaking pitch misses for ball 1, but a lot of significance in this year. It doesn't matter any year. If you have a team in first and one in last, if you're both having good years, both having bad years. But this one this year has got a lot to it when Eastview has now turned on the Jets in the last part of the district race, and they sweep Hendrickson to get to 6-4 and tied for the 3rd spot. They are looking to cement their place in the playoffs. The 2-0 pitch misses low for ball 3. 3-0 now the count to Cash Millar here with 2 outs and the base is empty. On deck is Luke Miller. Should Millar reach base for the Vipers. So you got to expect both teams to be ready to go. The 3-0 pitch on the inside corner for strike 1, 3-1. But both teams a lot to play for. Georgetown wanting to wrap up a district title to go with that playoff position they've earned. The 3-1 pitch. Outside corner just misses for a 2-out walk. First walk issued by Tate Ritchie. Gives the Vipers a base runner here in the top of the 5th, and that'll bring up Luke Miller, who's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Miller will step in from the right side. A ground out in the first, and he grounded out to Talon Ball at third base when Ball was back on the foul line, a deep hole at third base, and backhanded a high hopper and threw it across the diamond in time for the putout. So Miller steps in here with an opportunity with the runner on first and 2 outs. Ritchie from the stretch, the first pitch. Ground ball fisted out towards second. Lawrence will charge. Cord flips to first in time, and the Vipers are retired here in the top of the 5th. 4-3 on the putout to retire Miller and the Vipers. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on after 4.5. Georgetown 10, Vandegrift 2. Eagle baseball continues in a minute.
Jenny Mahan, Coldwell Banker Realty, proud sponsor of First Responder Broadcasting and Georgetown Eagle Baseball. A licensed real estate agent since 2016, Jenny is a family-first person that gives all she has to her family. Jenny takes the same love of family and delivers that to her clients from the start. Jenny is happy to help anyone looking to buy or sell a house, farm, or ranch. Let Jenny help you. Contact Jenny at 817-404-9203 or email jenny.mahan@cbunited.com. That's jenny.mahan@cbunited.com.
And we go to the bottom of the 5th. The 1, 2, and 3 hitters still up here for the Georgetown Eagles. Peterson steps in against Hubbard. First pitch swinging, left center field, hits a line drive. The left fielder is there for the play. Miller makes it L7 in the book to retire Riley Peterson here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the first out.
Now batting number 2.
Talon Ball will step in now with 1 out and the base is empty. Talon 1 for 3 in the ball game. Reached on an error and scored a run in the first, singled in the second, popped out to second in the third. The first pitch from Hubbard misses low for ball 1. Hubbard in his first inning of work and relief struck out 1, allowed 1 hit. Through 12 pitches. The 1-0 pitch to Talon is in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. On deck, Riley Leininger, the first baseman for your Eagles here in the bottom of the 5th, leading by 8, 10-2. Hubbard from the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Talon takes it low for ball 2, 2-1 the count. Special thanks to our umpires, a 4-man umpire crew today, all veterans who asked to be a part of this game when they saw the game appear in a Military Appreciation Day, wearing their OD Green uniforms as well with the military digital camo hats. The 2-1 pitch misses low and outside. Ball 3, 3-1 the count now to Talon Ball, but we appreciate them being a part of this ball game here at Eagle Field today for the appreciation of our military. The 3-1 pitch down low, a 1-out walk, 5-pitch walk to Talon Ball. First walk by Hubbard. It gives the Eagles a 1-out base runner here in the bottom of the 5th. And in steps Riley Leininger.
Now batting number 21, Riley Leininger.
Leininger 0 for 1 in the ball game with 2 walks, a run scored. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at first base. Hubbard out of the stretch will come set. Ball off and running, the pitch low, and no chance for Hewerkamp to throw down. So Talon Ball will cruise into second base. Now the Eagles have a man in scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, leading by 8, 10-2. Over the Vipers, Hubbard comes set, the 1-0 pitch to Riley Leininger. That one stays low and inside, ball 2, 2-0 the count now to Riley. On deck, the catcher, Reese Seaman, for your Eagles in the 5 slot, or in the 4 slot. So he came on in the bottom of the, or top of the 4th defensively for your Eagles. The 2-0 pitch to Leininger. Outside corner, called strike 1. Hewerkamp set up on that corner, and Hubbard hit it. Perfect pitch there. Now a 2-1 count to Riley. Hubbard comes set in the stretch. A look at second, the 2-1 pitch. Outside corner called strike two. 2-2 the count now. Riley back in for the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at second base. Hubbard comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Just misses. Ball 3. 3-2 now the count to Riley Leininger. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hubbard comes set. The payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks now. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Reese Seaman with runners on first and second base. 2 walks for Hubbard in the inning.
Number 13, Reese Seaman.
Seaman, the catcher. Bats left, throws right, steps in from the left side. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Or no, he's 0 for 0 in the ball game. He was hit by a pitch. Back in the bottom of the 3rd, takes the first pitch for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Hubbard gets the sign and comes set. A look at second base, the 1-0 pitch. That one's outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count now to Reese. Justin Soto on deck for the Eagles. Here in the bottom of the 5th, 1 out, runners at first and second. A 2-0 count to Seaman. Hubbard comes set, the 2-0 pitch. Just high, ball 3. 3-0 the count. A 1 pitch, 1 out situation here in the bottom of the 5th for the Vipers. A line drive by Peterson and then back-to-back walks. And the 3-0 pitch to Seaman in there for a called strike. 3-1 now. To the catcher, Reese Seaman. Hubbard comes set. The 3-1 pitch. That one misses low. 3 walks in a row has loaded the bases for Georgetown here in the bottom of the 5th. 3 straight walks with 2 out, or with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. And here comes Justin Soto. Jaden Howell heads over to first to run for the catcher, Reese Seaman.
Courtesy running number 22, Jaden Howell.
So Justin Soto will step in. For his first plate appearance, he's been defensively in right field. His first at bat, this one misses low and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Soto with Crutchfield on deck for the Georgetown Eagles. The 1-0 pitch misses low and outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count now. The 2-0 pitch misses. No, it's on the low part of the strike zone. Called strike 1. 2-1 the count. Note to self, do not watch a text message strand from Dave and Kelly while you're calling a baseball game. Turn off the iPad. 2-1 the count to Justin Soto with the bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. The 2-1 pitch. Ground ball, chop foul down the third baseline. The count 2-2 now to Soto. Soto, the 5'10", 170-pound junior. Here for his first plate appearance in the bottom of the 5th. 2-2 count with the bases full of Eagles after 1 out in the inning. 3 walks consecutively for Hubbard. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing. And an appeal down to first base, and they're going to say he went. Soto called out on strikes for out number 2. Second strikeout for Hubbard. That'll bring in Colton Crutchfield. Crutchfield 1 for 1 in the ball game. Came in to hit there in the bottom of the 4th, defensively in left field for Nations. Singled and stole second, was left stranded there. Crutchfield, the 6'2", 180-pound junior. From the right side, first pitch, swinging pop fly into right field. The right fielder, Gutierrez, will give way to the center fielder, and he can't make the catch. 2 runs across as Crutchfield cruises into second base. The center fielder was saying had been given way by the right fielder, Gutierrez. And with that ball hitting the ground, it makes it a run roll. 2 runs scored. as Talon Ball and Riley Leiter came in to score. The Eagles win it 12-2 over the Vandegrift Vipers. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, a visit with Coach Vieira down on the field. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment. We're back here live at Eagle Field. And a back-to-back wins, a 3-win week, anything you want to call it. But a good performance here by the Eagles on Military Appreciation Day. First and foremost, Coach, what an opportunity. This program continues to show out by honoring those around us, this community, members of the community. Today, what an opportunity with the Military Appreciation Day, and then coming out and getting a 5-inning run rule victory. How does that feel for this team? And kind of on an upward swing. A couple of good games there last night, tonight, to prepare for a big week next week in a battle against Eastview. The Eagles have won a district playoff spot. We know that. Yep. They're 10-0 and going into the final 4 games. But more importantly now, it's about winning this district.
Yeah, you know, we had a good week this week. Boys played well, swung it well last night, swung it well again today. Had the opportunity to get back to our community today. Excuse me. With serving the military veterans that are in our community and giving them an opportunity to shine the light on them a little bit for everything they've done. And then the boys played really well today. You know, it's a good Vandegrift club, and our guys decided they want to swing it today. So it's always a fun day whenever you get to be at Eagle Field and the sun shining and birds are singing. So,
how do you get this team ready for next week? For you, it's a faceless opponent in another dugout, and you got to play the game of baseball to beat the game of baseball. These kids know these kids well. These kids grew up together, and Eastview's got something to play for now. A big sweep of Hendrickson on the week to move to 6-4 into third place in district. They are fighting for that district spot, that playoff spot. How do you get these guys motivated amongst anything else to go into Eastview on Tuesday night and try to take control and win themselves a district title?
No, there's no motivation to be added, right? Our guys understand what the result is going to be of what they're trying to accomplish. Our objective is just keep them on the rails and keep them playing quality baseball and keep them where they need to be.
Tuesday night, I leave you in the hands of Kelly Duvall and Dave England. I'll be back Thursday for the coaches show, and then Friday night back here at Eagle Field. Congrats to you. This team continues their winning ways, 16-9-1 on the year. More importantly, 10-0 in district. A great finish last night over there at Cedar Creek to get the victory. Go enjoy maybe the weekend here?
We'll see.
The wife and kids are here with you. Congrats,
Yeah,
Coach.
day. Thanks,
Enjoyed
man.
it.
Appreciate you all.
Georgetown 16-9-1 on the year, 10-0 in district, and next week it's Eastview on the road on Tuesday night. Kelly and Dave will have the call for you. Thursday night, come out to Mesquite Creek Outfitters. We'll have the coaches show, and then Friday night back here at Eagle Field to take on the Patriots in Game 2. Thanks for joining us today. A 12-2 win for Georgetown over Vandegrift. They win it in 5 here on Military Appreciation Day. Thanks to our veterans for all you do and for sharing this time with us today on the field here at Eagle Field. Have a good weekend. And remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good day, everybody.